Hello everybody, my name is Seb van Leest, and this is the first video in our series of opening traps and tricks. I shall also be doing a series on chess basics. This is a really fun opening trap you can play as black to win very quickly against a very popular opening. White plays 1 e4, as you can see in the notations. It says 1.e4. White shall respond with 1 e5. Here, c5 is slightly more common, but any level player can remember this. High-level players will start to understand how strong c5 is, but this is just a fun trap you can play against your friends. So e5, knight to f3, and knight to c6, by far the most popular response. Black can play pawn here, can also play knight to here, but here, by far the most common, most popular, most fun response for black. White could play here, this bishop to this square, which is good, but the trap starts here. Black plays the knight to here, which looks a bit strange, attacking white's knight. However, if we look at this position, white attacked black's pawn. Black stepped the knight in to defend the pawn. So this pawn is attacked and defended once, each side. Attacked once, defended once, it's fine. Moving the knight, this pawn is no longer defended. The knight here was defending this pawn. Put it in a green arrow, there we go, defending this pawn. But the pawn is no longer defended. And a piece that is undefended in chess is known as a hanging piece. So white grabs this knight. This is the start of the trap, and black can win very quickly from here. White plays this move. Queen out to this square. Can everyone see that? Here. This queen attacks the pawn and attacks the horse, or the knight. It's up to you what you call it. Both are hanging. Both are undefended. How does white deal with this? White greedily snatches another pawn. This pawn. You see that? Knight takes pawn. The knight is now attacking the queen and the rook. The rook is trapped in the corner, and it's defended by the bishop. This looks pretty good for white, but black snatches the pawn. Remember here, we have the queen attacking this pawn and attacking the knight. White didn't really care about the pawn, so snatched another pawn. White is now up 2 pawns. Black regains one of them, attacking this rook. White then moves the rook over here. That's fine. Black could snatch another pawn there or there. Which one do you think black goes for? I'll give you some time to see if you can figure this out. If you said this pawn, well done. No, that's wrong. The actual answer is taking here because you attack the king. And whenever one piece attacks the king, it's called check. Queen takes, you see a little plus in the chess notation here, and that means an opponent's piece has put the other player's king in check, attacking the opponent's king. And here, white should block with the queen. But white might be a bit scared, thinking, oh, this bishop is undefended. Better drop the bishop back. So we do. And here, black to play and win in one move. It is, of course, knight to f3 checkmate. A beautiful, beautiful opening trap. Attacking the king. This bishop cannot take, because the recording won't allow it. No, because it is pinned to the king. Anything that is pinned is a piece that is attacked. The first piece is less valuable than the second piece. Of course, a bishop is less valuable than the king. The king is worth the game. The bishop is only worth 3 points. The king is worth the game. You don't want to give the game away. I don't care about a bishop. But this bishop cannot move. You see how that opens the attack from black's queen to white's king. So, checkmate in 7 moves. Let's go through that very, very slowly. e4, e5, knight there, and knight there. Most popular. This opening is called the Italian opening. It can be very explosive, very dynamic, but black can hold on and get some pretty good, pretty even positions. Knight to d4, offering this pawn. For anyone who's interested, this is called the Shilling-Kostic Gambit. or the Shilling Blackburn. It's up to you. But this pawn is a gambit. Basically, a gambit is giving up material. Pawns, knights, bishops, rooks, queen, king, they're known as material. Sacrificing material, giving it freely away for extra activity, making your pieces active, making them better than they already are. Yeah, this queen's pretty good. Nice range queen. Hello, queen. But by grabbing this pawn, white has undefended this knight and this pawn. And this pawn. So black takes advantage of that, as we can see, attacking this pawn and attacking the knight. White doesn't really care about that pawn, so grabs a second pawn. Now white is up 2 pawns. And as we've said, attacking the queen, attacking the rook, defended by the bishop, looks pretty good for white, yeah? Wrong. Takes the pawn, attacking the rook and the pawn. Both are hanging, indeed. Both are undefended. So what does white do there? Well, of course, white needs to defend the rook. The pawn is worth 1 point. The rook is worth 5. If my maths is correct, which I think it is, 5 is higher than 1. So you move the rook out of the way. White then loses another pawn. Black snatches it up with an attack on the king. This white queen, you know, she's sort of danced around the board a bit, but attacking the king with check. Here, white may block with the queen, but then you can just snatch it up with the knight. Winning white's king. Or queen, sorry. Blocking with the bishop, because of course the king is under attack, and so is this bishop. This bishop is undefended, which is defending this knight, so white's piece is starting to work against each other. The position's starting to fall apart. Bishop drops back, looking quite safe. Knight f3, checkmate. A smothered checkmate. Attacking white's king with the black knight, and there is no escape, as white's own pieces have boxed their king in.